Hi, Naurin. Let's take a look at your new essays. The advantages and disadvantages of travel. Let's see what you wrote. Nowadays, many people tend to travel for various different reasons, either domestically or internationally. While some consider traveling a positive trend that has its own merits, others might oppose this view and associate it with more demerits. This essay will discuss both these views. On the one hand, traveling is advantageous as it broadens one's horizons and opens up a new world. By meeting different people and knowing their culture, a person might become interested in his own culture. For example, a famous Pakistani author, Mustansar Hassan Tarar, said in his interview, because you tell someone but you say something, said in his interview that he used to travel to different countries across the world, and this inspired him to write his first book, My Homeland. Okay, in which he promoted Pakistani culture and traditions and compared them to those of other countries. Furthermore, traveling provides an opportunity to taste a variety of cuisines and one can discover a new perspective of life. For instance, my Korean friend visited my country, Pakistan, last year and liked the food to such an extent that he opened up his own Pakistani restaurant in Seoul, South Korea. Okay. On the other hand, it is undeniable that traveling is an expensive activity, and if a person travels abroad, it would even add more burden to his pocket. This fact can be confirmed by a survey done in Malaysia in 2016, which showed that about 1 billion US dollars were spent on international travel, get rid of the "and," in 1 year as compared to 50 million US dollars used by an equal number of domestic travelers. In addition, travel to a specific country can be hazardous and can be a source of contracting a contagious disease and spreading it to one's own country. COVID-19 pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic is a recent example of this, which started in 2019 in China. Because of traveling, it reached to almost every single country of the world. To sum up, traveling has its own pros and cons. However, currently its risks outweigh, no S, it's the benefits due to the COVID-19 infection. Okay. I really like this paragraph. I thought you did a great job. This was okay, but there's one problem. This says domestically or internationally. You decided to talk only about international travel and very, very little about domestic travel. Now, the good news about that is you don't have to talk about both. You should, but you don't have to. That's why it says or. I would have preferred it if you had talked about both. But you're actually okay in doing this, so that's fine. Let's see. So yeah, it was good. I thought you did a nice job. Personally, when you ask me about the negatives of travel, it's not so much that it's expensive, but it's actually other things. But so like the environmental hazards, that's a negative of travel, and the fact that it's because this is something more general, more universal, and this is actually a negative. Whereas some of the other stuff you mentioned are just an inconvenience, but it's fine. You know, as we say always all the time in IELTS, this is it's a language test and not an ideas test. But the reason I point this out is because it's important to understand the difference between a disadvantage of travel as opposed to maybe like an inconvenience of travel. And a lot of times that's what people do. They talk about why it's an inconvenience rather than the disadvantages of travel as a concept. All right, so let's take a look at the letter to your friend Sarah and see what you wrote here. Dear Sarah, I hope that everything is fine at your side. How is Aunt Samina? I'm writing to let you know about my new job. As you know, I did my specialization in obstetrics and gynecology, but instead of clinical practice, I was working at National Committee of Maternal and Neonatal Health as a trainer since 2016 because there were no night shifts and my younger son, Abdullah, was just 3 years old and needed me. Now he is a grown-up boy and has become independent. This means I can do night duty now, so I immediately resigned from and started my dream job. Okay, so let's talk about the first half of this letter so far, okay? The first thing that I want to say is, hold on. You're writing your friend, okay? But I thought that your first paragraph was kind of awkward. It certainly wasn't informal. It certainly wasn't friendly. Yeah, okay, you asked about, Samina, but it still felt to me a little more formal than it should be. So, dear Sarah, how are you, my friend? Or dear Sarah, how is everything going? Okay, something like that. Or dear Sarah, I hope everything is going well. Because we don't really say this is fine at your side. We don't say that at all. So let's try it again. Dear Sarah, I hope everything is going well for you. How is Aunt Samina? You should have capitalized Aunt. This to me was way too formal. Like this kind of directness, this kind of, I'm writing to let you know this. This is what we do in formal letters, but not in informal letters. So you would say this a little differently to your friend. You could say something like, I have some news that I wanted to share you with, which is why I am writing. You see, I have just changed jobs and I wanted to give you some updates. This is how we would talk to our friends. Okay? A lot more casually or a lot more, I'm writing to let you know about a big change in my life. I recently changed jobs and I'll tell you why. Something like this is how we talk to our friends. Let's see. A little bit of tense here. I had been working since 2016. This was fine. Now he is a grown boy, not grown up. Now he is a grown boy and has become independent. This means I can do night duty now, so I immediately resigned. Okay, that's fine. So the grammar here was okay. I mean, it was a lot of information. I don't think you needed to go into all of this, but it was okay. Let's go to the next part. Now I have joined Bajwa Hospital as a clinical consultant in my own field. Here, comma, working hours are flexible and less as compared to my previous job where I had to sit full time from 9 to 5. Here I give consultation from 10 to 3, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, yeah. And the good thing is that I can leave if there are no more patients. I have also started to exercise in a gym in the evening as I have more free time now. Do you remember how badly I wanted to watch and discuss seasons on Netflix like all of our friends, including you? You don't need the did here. Thanks to my new job, comma, I'm able to do it now and I am really enjoying my work-life balance these days. Good. Let's make a plan to meet up this weekend and invite all the girls. I'm really excited and looking forward to meeting everyone. Best regards. Okay, that's good. So this was really good. This felt nice and informal, as did this stuff about the Netflix. That was really good too. Let me see. You joined a gym, you're watching Netflix. Okay, so it's fine. You covered all the things you're supposed to cover. You don't put a full stop at the end of your name. You don't need to do that. But the rest of it I thought was really good. So this was nice. Let's see. Yeah, no other comments, okay? It was just those few things that I mentioned in the beginning that needed a little work. On the whole, I thought you did a nice job of this, okay? So go ahead, Naurin, correct these. Let's see them corrected. Let's see more essays from you, and we'll meet back here with your essays. I know your exam is coming up in about 6 days, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see your next set soon. Good luck.